Happy Tech Tuesday. You know, there are some things that you don't realize that you notice when you watch a video and say, wow, that was a really good video. And those are the little things that make the difference. So today we're going to talk about just 5 very quick tips that are going to make that video even more professional. Number 1, use a tripod. Always, always, always use a tripod. Now, I could go on and on about this, but the bottom line is really no matter how steady you think you are, nothing can replace a tripod. Now, if you forget one or you have to do without, lean up against the wall, set the camera on something, the ground, a desk, just something to keep it steady. Number 2, make boring actions more interesting by using a series of shots instead of just one shot. For example, someone walking through a doorway. It could be this. Or you can break apart the small actions and it could be this. Exact same action, but using multiple shots to perform that one action just increases the interest. It makes it more interesting to watch. Now, this can only be done when you can actually start and stop your subject, or if there's an action that's repeated over and over. Here's another example. Okay, and number 3, letting your subjects go in and out of frame. Say you're shooting someone walking down the stairs or down a hallway. Naturally, you kind of want to follow them, but don't. Hold your camera still and let them walk out of frame. Get a close-up of their feet or their face. Let them both start off camera, then walk out of frame to go off camera. This allows you the freedom to go to any shot next because you won't have to look for that exact matching shot. It also allows you to speed up some actions. You know, if there's a long staircase and you want to get a shot of them going up the stairs, then down the hallway and into class, by letting them go in and out of frame, you can speed up that action. If you keep your subject in the frame the whole time, you're going to have to let that one shot roll the entire time, and that can take a pretty long time. Number 4, the 180-degree rule, also referred to as not crossing the axis. This means you need to pick a side and stick with it if possible. Take a classroom. Pick the front and divide it right down the middle, like you're dividing someone's face in half, and choose a side. Will you get all your video from the right side or the left side? An easier scenario to picture maybe is an auditorium. You know, once you pick a door to go in, stay on that side. Now, the reasoning behind this is really to keep your shots realistic for the viewer. It is not feasible for you to physically jump from one side of the room to the other. So when you do this with your camera, it ends up looking a little jumpy to the viewer. Now, if you absolutely have to get from one side of the room to the other side of the room in whatever you're editing, here's the hint. Get an extreme close-up shot. If you put an extreme close-up shot right between the 2 shots that jump from side to side while you're editing, that'll make a nice smooth transition because the viewer's eyes can sort of readjust and they won't remember what side they were on before or after. Number 5, the rule of thirds. You've probably heard of this before just simply because of photography, and it's the same rule. You want to fill your frame with interest, but put your subjects in focus in the crosshairs of the third, so off to the side a little bit. It's like framing up an interview and giving them look-off space. It just adds more depth and interest to each shot. Now, this doesn't mean you shouldn't ever get a straight-on shot, but just try to think outside the box a little. And we're going to have a bonus video for you next week because not all of your videos that you do are going to be projects or events or things that you're going to actually go to cover, like a story. A lot of them might be ads or promotional videos, whether it's for a district or an upcoming event. And in those, you can plan out every detail ahead of time. You have the full script of what people are going to say. And once you have that, you can actually plan out every single shot you're going to get before you ever press record on the camera. Does that sound scary? It shouldn't. They're actually the easiest videos to put together. So we'll cover that next week. See you then.